Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about the remaining other connective tissues. The remaining other connective tissues, there are basically 8 to 9 connective tissues left. First one was the bone, second one was the cartilage, now the third, that is the ligament. What are these ligaments? These are mainly wherever the two bones are present or connected to each other. These tissues are basically ligaments. Wherever two bones are connected, they are called, in the between there is a ligament. These are basically a tissue that are very elastic and strong, and these are found, if you see your palm, this is a palm, this is a joint, that is the ligament between the two bones. The first bone is this and the second bone is this, and this is the joint called the ligament. So the another connective tissue, that is the tendon. What is this tendon? Tendons are basically bones connected to muscles by tendons. Hence, they are placed under the category of connective tissues. They are basically fibrous tissues like this only, but with a great strength but less flexibility. If you try to do the flexibility test with this tendons, you will lose your bone with the muscles. You will see these tendons generally when if you are vegetarian or if you are non-vegetarian. In non-vegetarian, you have already eaten the chicken. The chicken leg piece basically composed of what? This is a bone of, and upper is this is the muscles. So these muscles are connected by this bone with tendons. Now the other connective tissue is areolar connective tissues. Areolar connective tissues are basically found between the skin and the muscles, around the blood vessels, nerves, and sometimes in the bone marrow also. These basically, the function of these areolar connective tissues is to fill the space between inside the organs or support the internal organs. Now it's also another functions that support organ because of the presence of cells. These are surrounded by cells, basically two types of cells. That first one is macrophages and second one is mast cell. This is called the mast cell. These also support organ because of the presence of these cells, basically the macrophages and the mast cells. And another connective tissue, that is the adipose tissues. These adipose tissues are present wherever fat is deposited as a form of fat globules, is known as this adipose tissues. It is basically found below the skin and between the internal organs. The stored fat layers allows the tissue to act as an insulator, and sometimes it protect the body from cold also. You had already seen sometimes athlete suffer from muscle pains. This muscle pains is basically the fat globules that deposited in this adipose tissues. If these fat globules are removed, or we can say is detached from the surface of adipose tissues, then the pain of these muscles will also remove. This is basically a stored fat that allows the tissue to act as an insulator. Now the last connective tissue, that is the lymph. Sometimes lymph is a transparent, or we can say light yellowish fluid located in the intercellular space of our body, and it is a part of a defensive mechanism of body, because as it kills the bacteria and other pathogens with the help of white blood cell, that is the WBC. They basically fight with the germs and they kills it. It also helps in carrying digested fat, from the intestine, and the way it moves all the part of the body, and at last we can say that it connect every part of the body. It is similar to sometimes to blood plasma. We have already seen the components of blood. There are two. First one is the plasma and the second one is blood corpuscles. So lymph are sometimes similar to blood plasma in composition, except that it does not contain RBCs and has very little protein. We already know that in the blood corpuscles there are RBCs, WBCs and blood platelets present in it. But in the lymphs there are no RBCs present in, and has very little amount of proteins. In the next video, we are going to discuss about the muscular tissues and types of muscular tissue. Till then, thanks for watching.